Hey everybody, welcome again to Wingman Nation, a channel that has been built on one thing. That one thing is trust. For many years I've been telling you that I will never knowingly lie, and I will always be honest with you. I may not always say things that you agree with, and I am not always right, but your trust in me means everything. So thank you. Thank you for that trust. Now, that said, I'm quite sure that a few folks watching today's video, well, they will not like what they're about to hear, but I think it needs to be said. It's about RV lemon lawyers not willing to take on every case that is presented to them. From time to time, I see a negative comment from somebody who is very, very unhappy that one of the lemon lawyers I suggest they contact will not take their case. So that's the way we're going to start out today's visit with RV lemon lawyer Ron Burdge. What I want to know is why he won't accept every case that comes his way. Let's get started. I have seen some posts that people are angry that you won't take their case. And I know that you try to help as many people as possible, but talk to me about the realistic expectations. If I'm an RV owner, you can't take everybody's case. What are you looking for, Ron?
I can tell you, if the case hasn't been in enough times to where we can say that it's now an unreasonable circumstance, then the problem is going to be that the courts and the jury aren't going to give you as much time of day and attention as you need to break even in this process, to come out ahead. And if I can't get you to the point where you're coming out ahead, then you need to be very sure you want to go down that road, because you can spend a lot of time, sometimes a bit of money, fighting to get to your day in court. And I don't like taking a case into a courtroom unless I know I'm going to win, unless I'm sure that, we're going to do okay here. We just got to tell the story, and then we'll be fine. Well, the problem is a lot of people have only had the vehicle in the shop maybe one or two times. They've had an independent mechanic come out, a mobile tech, if you will. They never called the factory about their problems, and it's a situation where there are so many bad RVs out there, we can't take them all. So what we try to do is to make sure that the ones that we do take are ones that we can help, ones that we can actually win in court if we have to go that far. The cases that settle, Alan, they're the cases that are going to be won in court, and the factory knows it. That's why they settle. The other cases that they settle, sometimes the factory will settle it with other people just because they wear them down. And I don't like that. And to me, we don't get worn down. We're courtroom lawyers, and we will go into a courtroom and have a trial if we have to go there and if that's what the client wants to do. But I'm not going to take a case into a courtroom that I think we can't win, because that's not any good for the owner. That's just a waste of their time and their money and their aggravation.
So when you
are a little
Burdge law firm, one of your lawyers negotiates a settlement, I'm the plaintiff here, do I have to accept that settlement? Or
no, I don't negotiate the settlement, you do. I will negotiate and argue to get the best I can based on what you want. But if they're not willing to do what you want, then don't take it. What I always tell the client is we will argue and fight as hard as we need to get you the best offer we can. And if that offer isn't what you want, then don't take it. And we'll just go right on. And sooner or later, if they don't do what you want, then we'll end up in a courtroom and we'll have a trial. To me, if I settle one case today, it doesn't matter to me, because that case may be set for a trial 6 months from now. Well, by the time I get 6 months down the road, I'm going to have some other case that's set for a trial, and we'll just go to trial on that one. So really, it's a matter of whether or not the factory comes around to what it is you as an RV owner want done. And if they do, then great, take it.
How do you get paid? Do I start, you got to get paid, and you get paid for your time and your professionalism, your expertise, and helping me. Does the clock start, so to speak, from the time I sign the document, and do I start writing checks to you? How does that whole thing work?
We handle our cases on what's called a fee shifting way. Attorneys handle cases in a couple of different ways. One of them is a contingency fee, for instance. And I know that there's a couple of lawyers out there that do it that way. And what that means, for instance, is if you have a $300,000 RV and you get the factory to buy it back, and the attorney is on a contingency fee of 1/3, well, that means they get $100,000 of your money. And to me, you shouldn't really have to pay for the attorney because the law says the factory should be the one doing that. So we handle it on what I call a fee shifting approach. Instead of you paying us for every minute we spend on your case all the way through your case, we keep track of all of our time. And then at the end of the case, we tell the factory this is what the bill is. And if they won't pay it, then the judge has the legal right to make them pay it. So we go after recovering the costs of litigation and everything that you spend to fight them with. We go after recovering that from the factory on top of the money that you've got invested in the RV. Because to me, you shouldn't have had to hire a lawyer in the first place. So it isn't right that the lawyer takes a big chunk out of the money that you get at the end of the case. But that's the way some of it works.
So that makes sense. I mean, I can see that approach as long as the judge says, yeah, those are reasonable fees. And I can see it took you 6 months and all these different, attempts to settle. And then you get paid from the manufacturer, which is a good thing. And I get to keep my money.
That's exactly right. And the judge is the one who gets to decide what's reasonable about the attorney fee number too. And the reason for that seems fair. He's the one who's watched the whole case. He's watched the way the factory has been. He's watched the way we have been. And that matters, which is why we always try to make sure we're very reasonable through the case. But at the end of the day, if the factory won't settle, you don't have any choice but to go into a courtroom and have a trial or else give up. And giving up is not my nature.
All right, last question. If I am a disgruntled RV owner, I think that I have a possible lemon RV. What do I need to do to fast track this thing and get my process, get some attention, get some love, get this thing moving to a resolution? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go?
Best thing you can do is get on the internet for our website and call us or send us an email at our website page where you can fill out your information. And that website is just rvlemonlaw.com. Then once we get it, we can get the information from you, begin reviewing it, figure out where you are and what your situation is and what rights you've got. The most important thing is not to wait too long. If you've still got problems with your RV and you're 6 months into owning it, then it's time to start getting serious about it. We can help you as an owner plan your repair process for that last 6 months to make sure that all your legal rights are preserved and your case is set up in a way that if they haven't fixed it by then you've got them where you want them to be in a courtroom.
Okay, one last question.
Okay.
If I have an RV that I've had really maybe a few issues with it, but the warranty is going to expire in a few months, is it a good idea for me to maybe schedule some time to go into the dealer to have them do a once over, to give them my list of things that may need to be corrected, but at least get it in there before the warranty expires because they might find something. I would think if I was a dealer and I get paid on a per job basis, I'd want to find stuff.
Oh yeah. Here's what I would suggest there. If you've got a brand new RV that you bought, 6 to 7 months after you bought it, no matter how much you've used it or how much you haven't used it, hire a professional inspector to come in and check it out bumper to bumper, top to bottom, and make a list of anything and everything that's wrong. And then get it in and have all that stuff dealt with at the factory dealership. Okay, and if they can't get you in time, then call the factory. But remember, call the factory in any event, but get it into either the dealer or the factory and give them a copy of that list. Keep a copy at home. You can go over the RV. You're going to know some stuff already before the independent inspector gets there, but have a professional inspect it. They're going to spot stuff you don't know. And the only thing that's covered by a warranty is stuff you find is wrong. So if there's a problem that you don't even know is there, then the factory is not going to be responsible for that once your warranty runs out. So the best way to find all of it is to have an independent inspector go out there, crawl through that RV and make a list of everything, so that before you get to the end of that warranty, everything is fixed right and you're on your road and you're done with all of that. Or else you can start to begin to call us.
That is such a good idea because these inspectors are in a network, if you will, of other inspectors. And while I may have whatever the brand happens to be, But that inspector may say, uh-oh, I've seen such and such, these issues in that same brand over here.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard some friends of mine that are also inspectors have seen issues. So they know things that you don't know. And they're also that independent, trained third set of eyes.
Yeah. And you're not hiring them to fix anything. You're hiring them to find everything. Fixing it, that's the factory's problem. But if you don't know it's wrong, you can't ask the factory to fix it. You can't ask the dealer to fix it because they don't know what you're talking about. You got to give them the list. They can't be responsible for what you have not complained about.
All right, so I hope that the reason Ron's firm doesn't take on every case it's presented is a little bit clearer now. And personally, I'd rather a lawyer tell me up front that they don't think I have a case instead of lying to me or making me believe only to run up my bill. Don't you agree? I mean, seriously, wouldn't you rather find out the bad news up front? Let me know in the comments. Now, the other thing that you may want to consider, I think it's worth considering, is to hire an independent qualified inspector like Ron said when you still got 6 months or so left on your RV warranty. And by the way, there are a ton of RVs that were made during the pandemic that some call COVID RVs that their warranty is getting ready to expire. Think about it. An inspection could cost you $700, maybe a little bit more. But what if they find a factory defect, like a cracked frame or a screwed up slide out? You know, once the warranty expires, you are on your own. So, if you can swing it, I think an inspection several months ahead of when your warranty expires is a good idea. You may also want to take it back to the dealer that you purchased it from and pay them for an inspection. If they find a factory warranty issue, they'll point it out and they're better able to deal directly with the factory instead of you being in the middle. Again, if you'd like to check out Ron's website, I hope you will, just go to rvlemonlaw.com, all one word, rvlemonlaw.com, for a complete review by an RV Lemon lawyer, and if they think that you have a case, they will let you know. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. I'm Alan Warren, the Wingman, reminding you, be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.